But the battle for the final 4 spots has become a multi-team knife fight involving the Chargers, Bills, Jaguars, Chiefs, Steelers, Texans, and increasingly the Ravens. In this landscape, a 10-7 finish has become the defining benchmark for AFC teams. 10 wins almost always gets you into the field, historically around a 90% probability because so many wild-card competitors will cannibalize each other. It also gives teams multiple tiebreak pathways by stacking enough conference wins to withstand turbulence. For the Chargers specifically, finishing 10-7 locks them into a playoff spot in roughly 85 to 90% of scenarios, though the exact seeding depends heavily on how they finish their AFC slate. For teams like the Bills, Chiefs, and Jaguars, 10 wins keeps them competitive, but does not guarantee the same stability. Their tiebreak deficits or conference records may still shove them into seed 6, seed 7, or even out of the field, depending on who else reaches 10. One of the biggest questions in the AFC race is what happens if the Bills and Chargers finish with the same record. For example, both at 10-7, because they do not play head-to-head this season. The first tiebreaker is AFC record, and this is almost always the decisive layer. The Bills are more likely to finish with the stronger conference record because their remaining schedule leans into AFC East and AFC South opponents, whereas the Chargers have to fight through Denver, Kansas City, Houston, and Pittsburgh. That means in a tied record universe like 10-7, the Bills would hold the advantage if they finish 8-4 in the AFC, while the Chargers land at 7-5. However, this is not guaranteed. If the Chargers go 3-1 or better in their remaining AFC games, they can flip the tiebreak and finish ahead of Buffalo. If the AFC records happen to tie, the next tiebreaker is performance against common opponents, and the team with the better record in that shared sample wins the higher seed. But the most realistic takeaway is simple. A same record finish between the Bills and Chargers most often gives Buffalo the higher seed, unless the Chargers outperform them in AFC games down the stretch. With Baltimore now threatening to win the AFC North and push Pittsburgh into the wildcard pool, the seed map is shifting. If the Chargers finish around 10-7, their most likely landing spots are the 5 seed or 6 seed, with the 5 seed being the cleaner path if they beat either Denver or Kansas City. If they land at the 6 seed, their matchup is almost always against the 3 seed, which currently projects to be the Colts or Broncos.